life is short, like I live right now full of joy and happiness and just, stuff it. I'm not going to swear on the podcast, but, stuff it, like stuff what others think. I'm just going to be me and you either like it or you don't. And I've had that mentality for a while in terms of being like Marmite. I don't know if you've heard Marmite, the slogan, you either love it or you hate it. I've had that mentality since moving to Australia. Like I moved to a whole new country and went, well, you're going to like me or you're not. And the people that like me, they're going to be my people. So that was sort of one of them. I think you've got to have that sort of, I don't care what others think, I'm going to enjoy life.
Hey love, welcome to Confidently Uncomfortable. I'm your host and self-appointed hype woman, Jago. Every week, I'll bring you 2 new episodes. Today, we are loving on ourselves. That's right, we're getting hit by the love bug and diving into all things self-love. Excited to be on this journey together. Let's go. All right, our very first guest of season 2, Confidently Uncomfortable. I am so excited to introduce you to the Rebecca Saunders. She has such an amazing gift for helping women embrace their uniqueness, celebrating themselves, and designing, creating, and living their dream life by design. I absolutely love her energy. I cannot wait for you to meet her. She is a champagne drinking, Post-it note loving, same here, hair-free alopecian with a passion for pink and making her dreams a reality. She focused in on helping other people make their dreams come true. And I'm so happy that you're here, Rebecca. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'm glad that you have a fellow Post-it note lover here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, same. I literally have Post-it notes all over my house. And it's just, it's a vibe. It really helps us,
It does. Post-it notes and Sharpies, like they're the go-to.
They are the go-to. There's no organization to others when they look at my Post-it notes, but to me, it makes sense.
I get you. I feel you. Mm-hmm.
We're among the right people today. And y'all, she has literally a neon, which some of y'all will see a neon flamingo in the background and pink in the back. I'm like, you are so on brand. It's amazing.
My nails are pink too. So on brand. I'm living and breathing the brand life. Yes.
I am all about it. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. We have talked previously, actually got to be a guest on your podcast, which was such a pleasure of mine. I really want people to know and learn more about you because not only do you teach people about embracing their uniqueness, but you have done that in your own story within your own life. And I would love for you to share a little bit about that journey and really stepping into that fully.
Oh, that's a big one. We might have to break it down into micro questions, but I guess, so yeah, as you mentioned in the intro, I'm a hair-free alopecian. So I don't know if that word is like in the dictionary or whatever in terms of alopecian, but I know it's a word that I like to use. And alopecia is a condition that means you haven't got any hair. So I don't have hair anywhere. I haven't had hair since I was 7. There are varying different degrees of the condition. Mine is the worst one in inverted commas. I mean, there's no hair anywhere, right? Like it's not patchy or anything. There's just nothing. So I guess it depends to see what you consider worse or good. But I've had it since I was 7. So I haven't experienced life with my own hair at all. I have no memory of it before I was 7. But for the first 25 years of having alopecia, I wore wigs. Like I covered it up. I was always encouraged to be myself by, family and what have you. But I guess being young, impressionable, following, trends and wanting to be like everyone else, like we all do when we're at school, I covered it up and wore a lot of wigs. I had a lot of fun with it in my teenage years. I had multiple different colors. Like I do recall when I first met my now husband, I met him at the pub a few weeks after we got together, and he went in for a drink and we were with a couple of friends, and his friend went, you know what? I thought he was joking. Like he didn't actually know what you look like. When I asked what you look like so we could see if you were coming in, he goes, I don't know. She could be blonde, red, brunette. I'm not sure. And so they're like, we all thought you were a mythical creature.
Well, you are a beautiful mythical creature.
I know. Thank you. So we couldn't answer the question. So, I covered it up, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I really, really did have a lot of fun with changing the colors. But then it got to a point where I'd moved to Australia and it was a 35-degree day. And I think my husband came home and he went, babe, why are you wearing hair inside? said, well, I always do. Like I always wear it. He goes, you must be so hot. Just take it off. I'm like, okay. Like, okay. In home, like this will be fine. Yeah, we can do that. But in terms of doing it publicly and stepping out as me in my real life, like me in my real life, in my real body, with no cover-ups, took I'm going to say 3 to 4 years to get from that point of being comfortable at home to bam, let's put it all over the internet and my website and all the things and post it online. And so it was a journey. It was a journey of, okay, I've got to love this. I've got to get over the fact that people are going to judge it or look at it or stare or ask questions. And one thing that really stuck to me in my brain was a girlfriend of mine said, you know, when you really embrace that, like your business is going to go gangbusters. I went, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. And I have a background in video production, right? So I've decades in video production. I've spent my career telling people to be their authentic self, just be them, you know, just be natural, just be you. Don't try to be anybody else. Wow, what a realization that was when, you know, look in the mirror and go, you're covering up every single day. I was like, huh, let that sink in for a bit. And I don't do things by halves. I think we mentioned this on our show, right?
Yeah.
On my show. When I'd made the decision to be okay with it and to put it publicly, I called a couple of girlfriends, makeup artist, photographer, and I went, what are you doing on Saturday? Let's take photos. And so I took photos, and within 24 or 48 hours, definitely in the space of a weekend, we'd done the photos, we'd put them all over my website, all over social, and then just closed the laptop. And I was like, it's out into the world.
You essentially ripped the Band-Aid and went all in, which we did talk about this on your episode and I loved it. And this is so aligned. I love how you're kind of going through this process. So when it comes to, you know, feeling more confident in your skin, I've told people like, it's okay. Like you don't have to leave the house completely naked to feel good in your skin. Like you can start slowly and kind of get used to it. Maybe in your own home, start doing like naked yoga or walking around in a sports bra and like that concept. And I love like just to kind of like take apart each way that you did this. Like you started in the home where you were the most comfortable, like you knew your husband loved you no matter what. And so that was like your first step. And then when you were ready, you were like, all right, I'm ready to kind of go all in with this. But then adding on to that, you were like, if I'm going to go all in, I'm going to go all in. Let's hire the photographer. Let's do the makeup. Because you knew if you showed up as the highest version of that self, then it was going to make it even better. Is that like, is there anything I'm missing from that? Like, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, is there anything else?
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, you know, I've got a personal brand, right? So, you know, me stepping out and doing it as me, as face of my business. Yeah, I hired a photographer. I did the makeup. I went all in and put it out there. You know, for anyone listening going, oh, I don't, why would I hire a photographer? Like I didn't do anything. Like, why would I do that? Like, that's not the thing to do, unless you really want to have that bad photo shoot. But no, for me, it was definitely around that brand image. Like I definitely, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well because I'm known in my industry, in my career for quality. And so half-assing something, you know, half-assing it and just putting it out there, it's like, that's not me. It's not my personality. So yeah, we went all in. But yes, you're right. Unless you fully committed to showing up as you in your highest level possible, you know, the vibrations and the energy in that can't even be rivaled with, you know, like that nothing is going to hit you. So yeah.
I love this. I have another question. This is just a curiosity question. There's no right or wrong answer. So you mentioned, I've like heard more and more about your story. So I'm like, let's dig even deeper. So y'all just jump right in with us. But you mentioned like, since you were 7, you know, you started to wear wigs. And so with that, you started to mix it up and make it fun. So like taking that approach. And so looking back, would you have shifted that and not worn wigs at all? Or do you feel like there was a purpose for that in your life or a time in your life to do that? I'm just wanted to kind of ask you.
Oh, I think, I think I always wanted to wear them. Like I had the choice not to, right? There was the choice. I always did want to wear them. And I was very lucky and fortunate that my GP at the time and my mum fought really hard for me to have real hair wigs. So there is a big difference between something that is custom made for you that fits you perfectly compared to something off the shop floor that you've just purchased, right? They're very, very different. And so I was really lucky with that. And on the NHS, and this is very different now, we're talking 25 years ago, on the NHS at the time, you could get 2 real hair wigs every 2 to 3 years, I think it was. And so I had the ability to have them paid for, right? Like I was in a fortunate place where they were paid for, they were made for me. It was part of the healthcare system. And it made me feel as though I could be like everybody else, but also have fun with it because I could be different with it as well. So that's a really hard question because I don't think I'd have changed it. But I also know that the changing of the colors for me was that whole, if I'm going to do this and be like you guys, I'm going to do it in my own way.
I love
that. Make sense?
It does. I feel like you were able to create this level of autonomy either way. And that's really cool to see as like you as like a young girl growing up through that, you were like, okay, like I'm not going to hide behind them necessarily, but I'm going to use them. The reason I asked that question, and I love your answer, by the way, because I was just super curious. I had an episode on a podcast talking about like wearing a mask. And like, as I was talking about it, I started to realize like there could be 2 sides of it. Like wearing a mask could be, you know, maybe you are covering up who you really are, but then also maybe you're putting on this face in order to step into like feeling more confident. So you like put on a mask before you step into a speaking engagement or something. So seeing both sides of that is like really interesting to me. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that, or if you saw it differently looking through, like, do you see it as masking, or you were able to kind of help step into more of yourself in different chapters?
I think it's a bit of both, but that's an interesting thing in terms of that mask, in terms of that stepping onto stage and stepping into you, right? Because I think it's important to realize that you don't have to be on the whole time, right? Like I've got a really vibrant personality, but there's also times where I'm sort of very happy to be snuggled on the couch with my dog, right? Like you don't need to, you know, comfy clothes and all the things. You might have, so I'm a big wearer of a brand called Camilla, which I think is starting to ripple now through the States, but we're talking big prints, bold colors, a little bit cray-cray, but amazing. And I started wearing those prints and those that bold sort of statement style when I decided not to wear wigs. And so it was almost as though finding something that made it almost framed my uniqueness in a way that made it unmissable. So like walking down the street, like you'll see me, not necessarily because I've got no hair on, but because I've got the presence and the aura of, I've got this, I'm good. And I'm also wearing something that you're going to turn your head and go, what? Like, ooh, I would never wear that, but I love it. And I get a lot of joy out of that because it spreads joy. So yeah, like it's almost as though I've changed and now we've said this and we're talking it through. It's almost as though I've gone from changing the colors of wigs to just wearing crazy prints.
But still embodying like that, who you are, which is this vibrant life that helps other people feel alive within themselves. Like you tap into that. It's just you tapped into it in a different way. So I think that's, sometimes I think when my clients or people listening, like they come on the other end of their self-love journey or their relationship with food, and then they start to be mean to their previous selves. They start to think, oh, why did it take me so long to do X? Like maybe the thought of, why did it take me so long to stop wearing wigs? Did you ever experience that kind of like inner mean girl thoughts, as I thought, or were you immediately like, no, this was just the right time?
No, it had to be the right time. There was no anger or frustration or sadness against the previous versions of me and what I'd done to get to where I am. Like I'm proud of where I've got to and who I am today. So I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason. So, and things happen at the right time for a reason. So you've got to be in the right space. And like I mentioned before, you know, it took a few years for me to get comfortable with it because it takes a lot of inner work for you to go, okay, I'm good with how I am now. Like I'm people are going to judge it. You know, don't get me wrong. If you've grown up in a small town or a small community and you suddenly make some big changes and you're a different person to what everyone else around you has got used to, it can be hard to break the mold that other people put on you. So yeah, it's I never have the guilt thing, but then I don't really have that little voice at any point in my life. I don't have the good cop, bad cop on my shoulder. I don't have that worry. It's a very strange thing. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And I love how you said, like, it can be hard to break the mold that other people put you in or something to that factor. And it's just, it is true. But I think releasing the attachment to the mold that other people try and put you in is so powerful. And so I wanted to kind of ask you, as far as like, you know, maybe the uncomfortable feeling of possibly being judged, even just for wearing bright clothes, like we can stick around that. Like,
Yeah.
what helped you break past any of that fear of judgment? Like, you mentioned that you didn't really have the inner mean girl thoughts, but just like not worrying about it and doing you. Because I know there's someone out there that's like, I have been wanting to wear this, or I've been wanting to do this, or I've been afraid to show up fully as myself. Like, what advice would you give them?
Several things are running through my head right now. One, really, big thing is like, life is short, like I live right now full of joy and happiness and just, stuff it. I'm not going to swear on the podcast, but, stuff it, like stuff what others think. I'm just going to be me, and you either like it or you don't. And I've had that mentality for a while in terms of being like Marmite. I don't know if you've heard Marmite, the slogan, you either love it or you hate it. I've had that mentality since moving to Australia. Like, I moved to a whole new country and went, well, you're going to like me or you're not. And the people that like me, they're going to be my people. So that was sort of one of them. I think you've got to have that sort of, I don't care what others think, I'm going to enjoy life. Second thing, for anyone that's watched Schitt's Creek, have you seen Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
Right. So
you are my people.
I wore an outfit on Christmas Day, which was zebra print pants and a zebra print top. And it was loud. It was loud. Glittery shoes, sneakers. It was fab. And my husband took one look at me and he went, oh, I've married Mudgy Moira. And I'm like, I'm going to own that. Like, absolutely own it. Because everywhere I went in that outfit, and it's one of those big bold prints.
Yes.
Everywhere I went, people would go, wow, you look so, I love that outfit. Like, there'd be a comment or a compliment. And so own the fact that you are going to bring joy to people doing the things that you enjoy doing. Like, people can feel the energy in you when you're happy and you're joyous. So if there's something that you want to wear or do or, be and go and get, then, it's a disservice to you not to do it. But equally, if you think about it in the bigger way, it's a disservice to the people around you because they don't get to experience your joy. And there's a lack of joy in the world right now in terms of community connection. So if you can bring a smile to someone's face, awesome, right? Like, and then that will bring a smile to your face. So it's got a ripple effect. It's that piece of, can I bring joy to myself and someone else today?
Yes. Life is so short. I love how you think that because it's true. And with the Moira Rose, the other thing is she wears wigs as a form of self-expression. So, I mean, you were already Moira before Moira.
Right?
I love that so much. And I think that that's really good advice because it really is when it comes to life, like finding joy and giving joy in everything that we do is really what matters. The judgments and stuff are just going to fall away and they typically don't have much to do about us anyways. So I'm so glad that you've been able to do that in your own life, but then help others do that as well. I just think that that's really, really powerful.
Yeah. Well, I think, thank you. And I think the big thing there, we are our own biggest critics, right? Like, just on that judgment piece, background in video, right? My thing to everyone doing video was, if you don't want to watch it back because you're going to pick yourself apart, like, just don't watch it. Like, you're the only one that's going to notice if your eyebrow does a weird thing, or if you like move your hands a little bit too much and you think you look weird. You're going to be the only one that notices that. Nobody else is. And so for years, I was telling clients, it's fine. Your videos are great. I wouldn't let you get them go out if I didn't think that. Also, don't watch them because you're just going to tear yourself apart. And so we are our own biggest critic. And quite frankly, no one cares. No one cares. And if they do, really, like, that's more on them than it is on you. So Yeah. Just, your own biggest critic.
Yes, it's so true. And most people are so worried about themselves and what they got going on that they're not worried about you. So, but they can recognize, like you said, when you step into this level of joy and like happiness, like they can feel that. And so that's really what matters ultimately, is that you're doing things that bring you joy and you're helping spread that light. So you're definitely doing that. I think it's so powerful. You definitely are super confident and inspiring. And it's something that I'm like, I love it. It's just very, very like you can tell just from through the screen, I can definitely feel your energy. As far as stepping into confidence and going all in with that, is there something that clicked for you, or were you just like you had to keep showing up? Like anything that helps. Someone's like, I want to feel more confident in my skin, and you've got it. How do I get what Rebecca has?
Yeah. I wish I could bottle that. Gosh, that would make me a lot, wouldn't it? No, like, so two things there. Surround yourself by people that light your soul on fire.
Mm,
Like if you're surrounded by people that are constantly questioning or, judging or gossiping, like gossiping's a really big one, right? Oh, did you see
mhm,
so and so? Like, well, you don't want to be around that energy. That's not good energy to be around. So surround yourself with people that light your soul on fire, that will, you know, tell you, hell yeah, wear that thing, do whatever you need to do. They'll be there to support you because it's those people, when you have the energy and around fellow positive thinkers, that's the energy and the vibration that you want. So go hunting for those people. Go find the people that will be your people. Example for that for me, one of my neighbors a few years ago, bless her, she said to me, so I've been set this task by her psychologist. She said, I've got to go out wearing odd shoes. And I was like, okay. She goes, because I need to get over the fact that I think people will be looking at me. And I'm like, okay, should we go to the pub in odd shoes? And she went, would you do that with me? I was like, of course I'll do that with you. Like, absolutely no problem at all. I have a whole heap of Converse. So I wore different color Converse. She had the same shoes in different colors. So it wasn't like we were wearing different shoes. We were wearing the same shoes, just in different colors. And I invited other people to join us that all wore odd shoes at the same time. No one noticed. No one noticed at all that we were all wearing different color shoes. We all had the same shoes in different colors, but just goes to show that you're your own person, that you just need that one person that can go, I'll do it with you. Okay, let's go. What are we doing? So if you can find that, that's what's going to bring the confidence up, because it's hard to do it by yourself. It really is hard to do it by yourself because you can quickly fall into that. Oh, I'll just stay home.
mhm.
Oh, oh yeah, I'll just stay here. I'll
That
stay
little
where I'm comfortable.
comfort zone. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, see, everyone just needs to come hang out with you in Australia. We can wear crazy shoes and bright colors. I love it. But
Mhm.
if we can't go to Australia because the flight's a little crazy right now, how else could people hang out with you? What do you got going on as far as community?
Oh, that's a big one because I moved to a new town, right? So, moved to a new town in Australia, regional New South Wales, and I got here. I went, how, how do I make friends as an adult in a new place?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, how do I how do I do this? And so, I sort of sat on it for an evening, glass of wine, going, okay, how do I meet people here? Like, I could easily sit in my house, and did two things. One thing was, all right, well, I'll just go around town and I'll go into the little shops and I'll see what the vibes are like. And so I went around town and I asked people in the shops, is this your shop? And they'd be like, yeah. Like, awesome. Tell me about it. And I was genuinely interested, right? So
Mhm.
bit of a crazy way of meeting new people.
I love
But
it so much.
that led to me last night actually hosting a dinner in town for fellow females that I've met around town, either through friends of friends or connections from someone else, or meeting them in their shops, having a dinner with everyone, and bringing them together. And the joy of that at the end of it was everyone went, the biggest takeaway for me really is I'm not alone in feeling that I wanted connection and community.
Mhm.
I just didn't know where to find it. So I'm
Mhm.
so glad you've brought us together and we've had dinner, because I've met so many awesome people. I'm like, epic. This is cool. And so that sort of started a ball rolling for me, and I've always wanted to build a community space where you can just come and be a part of it and be you with no agenda. You know, when
Yes.
there's so many programs out there where you feel like you'll do 8-week this and 12-week that, and you've got to
Mhm.
follow this and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, I'm a week behind. I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, I'll just write that off. So I've started a community called the Champagne Lounge because, you know, everyone loves champagne.
Oh,
And
yes.
it sounds pretty VIP. Because I want people to be VIPs in their own world, right? We are VIPs in our own world. We should be.
Mm.
And the idea behind the community is it's a digital online cheer squad. You know, come for community, come for connection, come for virtual high fives, celebrating, bringing joy, talking about life, business if you want to. And so yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. You know, it's an online cheer squad for people that just want the energy and the people around them to go, you can do that. That's cool. You can
Mhm.
do that. So yeah, you can find me and hang out with me there.
Yes. Okay, that's perfect. And having a hype squad, having people hype you up is such a powerful, powerful place to be. Your community is so powerful. And I loved the example you gave, just where you moved to a new place and you didn't know how to meet people and you just kind of went out there and figured it out. Um, you are so right in the fact that like so many people are seeking that community. And if someone were, I mean, because I know a lot of people, they're like, I don't want to go up and like talk to someone, that's so scary. But like sometimes walking through the worst case scenario, okay, what's the worst case scenario? They shut you down. Okay, well then go into another shop or meet someone else. And that's kind of how I am with my dog. I'll walk my dog places and just kind of chat with people.
Yeah.
And it really helps to do that and recognize that we're all seeking that same level of connection. And you'll find your people, and it's okay to have like maybe a little bit of time to figure that out, but start going the places where they're hanging out, start being in the rooms like the Champagne Lounge, or finding a place and getting a group of women together to host a restaurant. I just think that's really powerful, and I love all that you're doing, and I just think it makes such a big difference. Is there anything else you want to say on that? I want to make sure that I don't
I
too
think
much of your time.
no. So on that, in terms of finding those people, you know, I'm if you're an introverted soul, you'll find someone and gravitate towards someone like me, right? That goes, oh, well, you'll organize stuff and, you know, that kind of thing. I am the person that will organize the social things. I will host all the things. So if you're an introverted person, try and lean into that. Like, it can seem really scary, you know, to be um in a space where everyone around you seems a little bit more comfortable and confident. But there were two people last night at dinner who I know would have cancelled had they had the chance to just cancel because it was a bit too much. And
Mhm.
so both of them sat in the room. There was only six of us. You know, we're very small last night, but they were comfortable enough to come and just try it small, you know, just see if it's okay. So I would say, yeah, compliment someone on their shoes, or ask them about
Mhm.
the book that they're reading, or speak to them when you're walking the dog. It's those little things that just start the conversation. So don't feel that you have to go into a whole heap of conversation straight away. Just the little things, just little, just start small.
Yes. Start small, keep it small,
Yeah,
and kind of keep moving. And you'll find your people that you can end up pouring your heart into and stuff like that. So
correct.
I'm
Correct.
so glad that you hit on this and just helped people see that, like, you don't have to, step in and be like fully confident before you're meeting people. And you can, as far as like showing up authentically as who you are, it's okay. Like, you can do it fully. And it's okay if you're, not fully confident there yet. You just got to start small. I think just taking small steps when you're ready, you'll be able to go
Correct.
all in, just like you did with your story. So
Yeah, it takes
inspiring.
time. You've got to start the steps, start the journey, and then it will
Yes.
happen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Rebecca, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
I have
you.
one question for you. This is
Yeah.
confidently uncomfortable. So I want you to tell me, what is one thing you're doing, working on, experiencing, or going to in the future, near future, that is going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, confidently uncomfortable. So in the long run, you're going to be more confident because of it.
You know what? It's actually the Champagne Lounge, believe it or
Yes.
not,
Yeah.
because it's such a different thing to tell people. They're like, so what's the agenda? Oh, well, there isn't any. So what do? We talk to people that we wouldn't otherwise talk to. Huh. Okay. And like, it's people getting their brain around it. Like, I know it can go really far. Like, I can feel it. Um, but like got my video production company to the side, and people going, so you're just sort of walking away from something that's working and trying something that you don't know if it will work. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, like I think it'll be fine. I know it'll be fine. So yeah, as much as I'm loving it, like there is always going to be that little bit of,
Oh yeah.
will it get as big as I want it to? Will it travel out there? And I know it will. I know it
You
will. But
feel it. You feel it.
still feel that, oh, I'm doing something that no one else is doing yet. Like, so yeah, that's that cool bit.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. I've had a lot of conversations lately with people about sometimes it's really hard to leave something that's actually working. It's actually successful because a lot of people, they look at that more of like a, whoa, like what, you left this, you made this work. It's very
Mhm.
successful business and now you want to shift it. And like currently I'm, in a transition as well. So it's so cool to see you like, okay, I'm still doing it. So y'all notice right now, she started the champagne lounge because she knows the why behind it is more important than the fear that would hold her back from doing it. And that's really, really important to know because it's going to be successful. But if she let the doubt get in the way, it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be here to help serve the people that need to be there. And in the beginning, maybe it helps get the people in who are a little bit more introverted, who, as it grows, they maybe wouldn't have joined when it was huge, but they can step in right now in the beginning. So, try not to compare ourselves to where we want to be, I think is a big one here because that's where I get stuck. And I'm just so glad that like you started it anyways and you're doing this. And you guys definitely go check it out, explore the Champagne Lounge. I'll have the link in the show notes. Rebecca, thank you so much for being here. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
It's been amazing. I've appreciated every second of our conversation. So
Uh,
you filled my cup this morning.
Same here. Same here. Well, I look forward to everyone listening to this. Y'all definitely reach out and let us know your biggest takeaways from this episode. And awesome. Thank you for being here, Rebecca.
Thanks so much.